1982 wrestling season getting underway. Scheduled to appear on the card, well, it could very well be Fred Blassie Knight. Adrian Adonis takes on Tony Garea. Jesse the Body Ventura takes on S.D. Jones, and the Mongolian Giant Killer Khan taking on Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Notwithstanding, of course, many other matches, including the main event, as Greg Valentine prepares to meet Bob Backlund for the World Wrestling Federation title. Here with us now, the busiest man on that night of the 23rd of January, Freddie Blassie.
The man that's going to make all the loot. Piggly Wiggly night, Blassie calls it when he's got his army out in force. And I guarantee you, January's going to get off to a great start. Because I promise you pencil neck geeks out there, somebody that my man is going to wrestle will suffer a broken arm, leg, neck, or what have you. But one of those opponents of my men will suffer a serious injury.
You know, Tony Atlas made a comment last week, several weeks ago as well, and it definitely, I think, applies to you, Fred Blassie. You send your men out, particularly Killer Khan, who has done nothing but create destruction. You send your men out to attempt to break a limb, twist a sinew, whatever. But Atlas, just like everybody else, is going to be ready.
Well, McMahon, I don't deny that. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. To get a reputation immediately is break somebody's arm or leg that the people out there like.
Fred Blassie, his commentary on the three individuals whom he represents: Adrian Adonis, Jesse the Body Ventura, and of course, the Mongolian Giant Killer Khan, who meets Tony Atlas. Our next guest, Bob Backlund, preparing for the title defense against the master of the figure four leg lock, Greg Valentine. But maybe, Bob Backlund, maybe there's just a little too much emphasis on the figure four leg lock because he's a master of many holds, much like yourself.
Yeah, Vince, you got to admit that he's well-rounded in the ring as a professional wrestler, and you got to admit that you can put emphasis on one thing and he can beat you with something else. So you got to be concentrating on everything. You got to be alert, and you got to be ready, and you got to respect him, man. You may not like him, you might not like the things he does. He keeps that figure four leg lock on people and tries to break their legs, and Vince, that's not necessary. You go in there and you try to win your matches and let it go at that. Win fairly. You don't have to retire anybody from wrestling, just win. And but I gotta respect him, and I gotta think that he can beat me at any given time, and I gotta give it 100% when I wrestle in there.
Thank you very much, Bob Backlund, his commentary. Bob Backlund looking for a scientific wrestling match against our next guest, Greg Valentine. Many would say it's not too likely to happen. What would you say, Grand Wizard?
I would say that the match will be any way that Greg Valentine wants it. If he wants it rough and rugged, it'll be that way. But the outcome will only be a victory for the champion, Greg Valentine.
Valentine?
I like that. He's already calling me the champion because he has confidence. And I have confidence. I am convinced of what I can do in that squared circle right behind me. I'm convinced what I can do in Washington, D.C. Bob Backlund, I hear all your comments, how you're praising me, how you're telling everybody that I would make a good champion, telling everybody how I was trained by my father, that I know how to wrestle. Compliments, compliments, and more compliments coming from Bob Backlund. Well, Vince McMahon, this shows me that Backlund is scared. He is scared to death of Greg Valentine. He is scared to death of the figure four leg lock. He has seen what it has done. He's seen what it did to Strongbow 2 years ago. How the man was out for 6 to 8 months. And he's still out of wrestling as far as I know. He has seen how I've taken preliminary wrestlers and had them carried out in stretchers, carried out in ambulances. And Backlund, you know that can happen to you and your spindly legs. A world championship could be right around my waist. You understand me? In Washington, D.C., I have promised the Grand Wizard a New Year's resolution that I would be the champion. For 2 long years, the phone lines have been burning up. And I have been training hard and vicious, and I am ready like I have never been before. The knuckle sandwich, the figure four, the spin and toe hold, 10 or 5 different suplexes. Doesn't matter, Backlund, you are gone.
Greg Valentine.